Good.
Good. All right. Well, like Amanda said, my name is Beth. I work in Career Services on campus. And congratulations on your student teaching. It's very exciting for you guys.
Yeah.
Are all of you all going to be December grads?
Yes.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Okay. Who in here is, their emphasis is in elementary ed? Always the majority. Always. So who is secondary, I guess? Who has like K through 12? Like art, music? Wow, a bunch. Okay. All right. Well, who, when they graduate, wants to stay in West Virginia? They have to stay here because of family or stuff going on. Okay. Who has another state that they're definitely targeting? Okay, and who doesn't care just as long as they get a job? Okay. All right. Well, bear with me. I'm going to talk to you about what employers are looking for on resumes, okay, and about your job search just a little bit. So, we in Career Services, we are governed by a body called NACE. You all don't even really even know what that means, but it's a National Association of Colleges and Employers. These are the 8 items they say need to be on your resume, okay, so not just your education, but you need to think of stuff that you've done other than just going in the classroom and getting your degree, okay? So, being able to think critically and problem solve. I'm assuming as teachers you're able to do that on the spot, right? Okay? Good communication skills, both written and verbal, because obviously you're going to be talking to your classmates, but who else are you going to be talking to? Parents. And I have so many friends who are teachers, and they say that is one of the biggest parts of their jobs and hardest is the parent interaction, okay? Teamwork and collaboration, I think that embodies teaching, right? So you kind of have that built in to your curriculum. Number 4 is leadership. Now, have any of you all done something here at Marshall that you feel has made you a leader, that you have a leadership quality to put on your resume? Who feels that they do? And who feels they need to work on that this semester? Okay, so does anybody in here, is there an education organization you can join as an undergrad at Marshall?
Yes.
Okay. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, so do any of y'all belong to that organization? Okay, and in that organization, have you taken on any kind of additional roles, such as secretary, treasurer, president, vice president, anything like that? What about just in sororities and clubs? Anybody here belong to any sororities, fraternities, clubs? Okay, think about if you've done anything within those organizations that can somehow show leadership. That's really important. Number 5 is digital technology. So, depending on the school system you go to, the county you go to, you might be using OnCourse, you might be using EdConnect, you might be using, what are some of the other ones? Schoology. What else? Is that the main ones?
It is now. Capital County just started a new program called iReady.
Oh, really? I haven't heard of that one yet.
Yeah, it's for math and reading, and it's like all technology, and it connects with Schoology.
Okay.
So it's brand new.
Okay. Okay. So I think the ability for you guys to be able to use technology, but also to show your adaptability to new technology. Okay, so when it comes in, being able to learn and being adaptable. Professionalism and work ethic. Believe it or not, this is something that we have to talk to graduating seniors about. Okay, because we have a lot of reports come back from the community, and I'm not saying from student teaching, that talks about professionalism, that the students who are graduating don't really understand what it means to be on time, which means to be what?
Early. Yeah.
Okay, how to dress in the schools. Now, my kids go to school, and sometimes I think their teachers don't look exactly like they should look. Okay, but I think if you're going out there and you're talking about being professional, especially as a student teacher, you know, try to dress as nice as you can on a student salary. I know you all aren't making the big bucks right now, okay? Or ever will.
Or any
Probably,
bucks.
right? Let's be honest. Let's be honest. You got into this field not for the money. Career management. That's what Amanda's helping you with today, and that's helping you manage your career. And number 8 is global fluency, and that means diversity. okay? And you all will use that and come across that in your student teaching and in your observations is working with a diverse group of people, okay? Now, employers, out of those 8, what do you think employers find the most valuable on a resume outside of your education? Work ethic, what else? Anybody else have a guess? Collaboration. What else? Technology. Communication. Those are all so vital, but actually the one that they look for the most, according to NACE, is leadership. So really, really try to find something to stick on that resume that somehow shows you developed as a leader. Okay? The next thing I'm going to talk about deals with networking. So when you guys, was it EDF 270 where you did your 75-hour?
That's the 35-hour. That's
Is
the
that
first
35?
one.
Which
Yeah.
one's the 75?
It's like 470, 471.
470? Okay, so all of y'all have done that obviously, right? So when you guys were in those observations, did you all take time to get outside of the classroom you were assigned to, network, talk with the people at the school, the principals, the administration?
Mhm.
Most of the time students say no. Okay, if you did, kudos to you. But you need to right now, as still the Marshall student, you need to start developing that network. Okay? So you need to get outside of whoever your student teacher is, talk to administration, talk to other teachers that are in your emphasis. Get to know them because they can help you in your career when you graduate. Okay? They may know somebody who knows somebody, so it's important to get your name out there. For some of you all, you may have to go on the substitute list for counties who already have a lot of jobs. So getting to know that administration so they can call you in by name, having a good experience when you're there is really, really important. When you guys did your observation, did you write thank you notes back to the administration?
I see a few nodding.
Yeah, I see a few
Good.
guys. Yeah, good for you guys. Always do that because they're taking their time out to help develop you, okay? Helping you with the students. So always make sure you write thank you notes back because that's going to matter. It's going to make an impression on them that they can look back on and remember who you are, okay? So really, really network when you're in the school system. And the latest data I don't have it yet for 2017. I couldn't find it, but in 2016, 70% of employees who were hired had a connection. So they had a network base. So think about that. That's 70%. That's a heck of a lot. Okay? So getting out there, getting your name out there is really, really vital. All right? Are any of you all on LinkedIn? I see 1 hand, 2 hands, 3, 4, 5. So getting on LinkedIn is really important too because it will help you grow that professional network and jobs will be available there. You can reach out to Marshall alumni, which is really important. So if you know you're going to go work in South Carolina, you can try to find the Marshall alumni in South Carolina and kind of network in that way. Okay? So really use LinkedIn if you can because you all really need to start doing that in your senior year. Okay? Who has no idea what LinkedIn is? So LinkedIn is a professional Facebook. Okay? So it's social media, but it's only for professionals. Okay? So you don't want to have your home screen being a picture of you at the beach or hiking, fishing, or whatever. It needs to be a professional picture. Like, have any of y'all been to the Career Expo we have here at Marshall? Because you all have the Educator Expo, which is probably the only thing you all usually come to, right? We always have a professional photographer in, so if you all can't come to that for any other reason, just pop in, get your picture made, and they will send you a really nice picture of yourself to put like on your profile. Okay? So just pop in, get your picture made, if nothing else. Okay, so let's talk about, I'm going to skip that and go on to how to write your resume. When you're writing your resume, you want to stand out, right? So think about what you've done as a student. Have any of you all like tutored? Or worked in Bud Carlos or worked in, okay, so think about that as a teaching experience and use your words like you oversee, you oversaw, you led, you organized, you created, okay? So those words sound much better than just help or assist, okay? So you can just Google. You all know Bloom's taxonomy, right? You all have learned about Bloom's. So I think with Bloom's taxonomy, you have all those great action verbs for each level of the taxonomy. So you can use that and pull out those really good words for your resume. Okay? So if you're ever looking for really good words, let's look at Bloom's. Okay? All right, let's talk about your actual document. I have worked this summer with like 4 or 5 education students as they've been applying for jobs. And the first thing that startled me when I was reviewing the resumes is that they didn't put their student teaching on there and they didn't put their 75-hour observation on there. You all have to do that, okay? Because even though you're not getting paid for it and you don't maybe view it as work experience, it is in-field experience. So you have to put that on your resume, okay? Because it might be the only in-field experience you guys have. Who in here has a part-time job that's not teaching related? So see, that in-field experience is really, really going to stick out to you guys. So you've got to put that on there, okay? So just start with your personal info at the top. Be sure to not confuse the employer and give them lots and lots of options. So you just want to list one address. So do some of you all have like an address here, an address you have at home? Use the address where you get the most mail, or if you know you're going to be moving at home over the summer, go ahead and use that address. Okay? Same with phones, same with email. If you all still are old-fashioned like I am and you have a landline phone, but you use your cell phone most often, just put your cell on there. Okay? So use the phone you're going to use most often where they can more easily reach you. Same thing with email, just use one. Okay? I have a lot of seniors ask me, will I still be able to get to my Marshall email when I graduate? Yeah, it's going to be yours as long as you want it. Okay? So you can use your Marshall email on your resume if you want to, or if you all have a Gmail. I know all of y'all have a second email address, right? Like Gmail, Hotmail, Outlook, something. If you all want to use that, that's A-okay too, but just be sure that that email address somehow represents your name. Okay? That it is a professional email address. Okay? You don't want Rockstar295 or something as your email address. Okay? So just make sure it somehow represents your name. Another thing with your email, whenever you all type it and enter, you know it's going to create that hyperlink. It's going to turn it blue. So I always recommend highlighting it and turning it black just so it's consistent with the rest of your document. You can leave that hyperlink in there, no big deal. But just make it consistent with everything else. Okay? Those of you who are looking outside of West Virginia, do the states that you're going to be teaching in require praxis? Okay. So does North, right? Okay. So whenever you're talking about your education, have any of you all taken and passed the praxis yet?
Everybody had to take and pass it.
Oh, before
It's the
they
State
teach?
Department,
Oh,
yeah.
is that new?
Yeah, it's new.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Well, woo! Yay.
Yeah, I know, right? If you're in the room, you made it. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Okay. So you will definitely, in your education section, want to put your praxis on there. Okay? You don't have to put your scores, but you do want to put your praxis completion on there with the praxis that you took. Okay? The praxis name. And you'll want to put the date that you took it. So whether it was spring 2018, or you can even be more specific and say February, March, whatever, 2018, you want to have that date on there as well. Okay? So be sure to put that on there. GPA is a big selling point for you. You're able to, you know, brag about yourself. So if your GPA is a 3.0 or above, put it on there. Okay? All right? For our non-math majors, if you have a 298, you can't round it. Okay? I've had students start to round their GPA. Don't round your GPA. Okay? Just 3.0 or above, stick it on there. Now, anybody have scholarships? Anything like that? If you have a scholarship, you can do it 2 different places. You can stick it under your education section, or you can just make your own new section that says like accomplishments or honors, something like that. Okay? But don't slight yourself. I have a lot of students who will just leave off their scholarships. They just won't think about it now that they've graduated. But that shows that you were academically excellent for the whole 4 years you were here. Okay? So be sure to stick that on there. So I've put one on here, and I will email this to Amanda when I'm done, and she can email it to you all. Just an example, I think, I can see very well from up here. I think the top one is secondary, is that right, you guys, or is it elementary? Under work experience. It's elementary, the second one is secondary. I tried to put one of each on there so you could kind of get an example of what each one looks like and how to set it up. But always be sure to put your semester that you went and what you did. Because if you just said you were there, some teachers give students the opportunity to do more than other teachers, right? Have you all experienced that? So just be sure that you put everything that you did when you're down there so all of your skills are exemplified, okay? If you have part-time work experience, which tons of you all do, I would list that secondary on your resume, okay? So put your student teaching and all that up first, put your actual work experience down below, okay? Now, I'll put an asterisk with that. If your part-time job involved teaching and being over kids, go ahead and list it first, okay? But if it wasn't, I wouldn't list it first, okay? What about, anybody of you all have any professional memberships anywhere? Yep. Okay.
NCTE.
Okay, so you can make that a separate section, or you can even put it under education, just whichever you prefer. Okay. What about any certifications? Anybody in here CPR, first aid, certified? Okay, put that on there as well. Did any of you all happen to go to Marshall's training when they had the Narcan training? So you had that certification? Okay, so I'd put that on there. I mean, you would like to think that that's not going to happen in the school that you're in, but you just never know. Okay, so if that's some kind of certification you have any of you all done any like continuing education when you've been here at Marshall, done any workshops, anything like that? Add that on there, okay? So anything and everything you all can think of, you just need to brainstorm what you've done for the last 4 years, okay? And make sure you put it on there. Do I have anybody in here who has done a big amount of community service, like over 100 hours? Okay, if you have, be sure to make that its own section, because that's a lot.
What if it was, like for instance, I did it in high school and got like a certificate for that, would that still be relevant enough to put?
Usually high school, we only live on there for 2 years.
Okay.
So I think that you need to probably think about the certificate that you received and if it's relevant to what.
It's about 400 hours.
It was 400? Nah, I might list just the certificate name.
Okay.
Yeah. Anybody boys in Eagle Scout?
Oh, I saw one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something you can keep on there forever. Kudos to you. Yeah.
My nephew.
What about like Energy Express?
Energy Express, absolutely.
Mhm.
Put on there. Yeah. I have tons of student teachers who go who work for that every summer.
Should you put like AmeriCorps before student teaching? Because I'm like an actual mentor.
For AmeriCorps, I would.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I would.
What would that go under?
Work experience, whoever asked.
What if you like volunteer for different charities? Where would that go under?
I would put that under community service, or you can either put it under activities, and you can just list them, whichever you prefer.
If I got my undergrad degree in 2006,
Mhm.
would I still put scholarships from back then?
No, you don't have to put scholarships in back then, but definitely put the degree. Yeah, yes. Did anybody transfer here from another institution? Did you go for over a year to the other institution?
Yes.
Yes, okay, then you want to put it on your resume as well. Okay. All right.
What about military training?
Military gets its own section, because you learn a lot from being in the military, and that gets its own section. Yeah. So you want to highlight the skills you gained and what you did while you're in the military.
What if you did dual credit hours in high school?
No,
What if you have multiple degrees? How would you put that in there? Because I got this to be my third degree.
okay. 2 questions. Were they all from Marshall?
The first was from Southern Community.
Uh-huh.
It's a 4-year.
Right, I'm familiar, yeah.
Then the second one was from here, and the third one was.
Okay, so what I would do is I would list Marshall University first. You don't have to list Marshall University twice. And then put your most recent degree, which is this one, then the one underneath it, and then put your. Yeah. 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 Great question. What else do y'all have? So let's talk about your style for just a minute. So when you're doing your resume, I say stick away, totally away from word templates. Okay? because I review resumes all day long, and I see the same templates over and over and over, so you can probably guarantee that an employer is gonna see the same templates, okay? So, do your resume, do it in Word, and then you can play with it stylistically yourself, okay? You can change your font a little bit. I saw, my favorite resume I've ever seen, I saw over the summer, and she just tweaked the font on her section headings just a little bit, but it still matched the body, just enough to catch your eye, make it eye-catching, okay? So you can go in there and play with it and tweak it a little bit, okay? So stay away from those. However you decide to format your resume, like this one up here, I kind of like put my dates and stuff, I tabbed them over a little bit. However you decide to do it, it's A-okay. I have some students put everything to the left, I have some put the dates and stuff to the right. Whatever you guys do and you think looks good, just make sure you're consistent throughout your whole document. Okay, that everything still lines up. Because if you guys were to guess, how long do you think somebody actually looks at your resume before they decide to read it?
5 seconds.
Less than a second.
You're right, 5 to 7 seconds. So it actually just needs to look good. So when you look at it, make sure that it looks good, okay? So if something catches their eye and it's formatted and laid out well, then they're gonna go ahead and read your document, okay? All right, do I have anybody in here who's gonna probably, the resume's gonna go over 2 pages, go to 2 pages? That's okay. Kind of the rule of thumb with that is if you're gonna go to 2 pages, make sure that second page is at least 20-25% full, okay? If not, kind of reevaluate your margins and stuff on the first page, okay? Font, do not use the word default font, okay? Highlight it on, change it to Times New Roman if you want to, but please do not use that word default font, okay? Calibri or something like that, all right, stay away from that. The biggest mistake I see on resumes is that when you guys are writing about your job experiences or your job shadowing, not job shadowing, I'm sorry, student observations, be sure your descriptors are in the correct verb tense, okay? So if you're writing about your 75-hour experience, it's going to be written in the past tense, right? If you're writing about your student teaching right now, those descriptors, those job duties are going to be in the present tense. So believe it or not, your verb tense matters to your time. So make sure you correct that. That's one of the biggest mistakes I see on a resume. Okay? All right. What questions do you have?
I'm going to be an art teacher. Is it relevant to put things like graphic design work and then like related experience, or does that go down just work experience?
Do you have a portfolio online?
Not online.
Okay, because the reason I ask is a lot of art students I work with, they will have like a portfolio online and then they just put their link to link out to their work, so that is an option. But I would say if you are trying to get an art job, I would move that graphic design work up. Because that's going to show your abilities.
Is this a part of the slides they're gonna send us?
Yeah, I'll send them to Amanda.
Okay.
Yep.
On work experience, this doesn't apply to most people, but how far back do you go?
10 years. And I say, if those jobs, even going back to 10 years, aren't truly applicable to what you're going to do, it's up to you whether you want to leave them on there or not. A job application by law, you have to put everything on there because they can look up your social security number and see everywhere you've got the W-2, right? But a resume is selling you, selling your greatest strengths. So you can pick and choose what you put on there. Yeah.
If you looked at education courses and did like clinicals in high school, should you put that or just go
Yeah.
2 years like you said?
Yeah, I would put that on there.
What if you were certified?
If you were certified, yes.
Okay.
Yes, getting a certification is something to pull through, yes, but your certification.
Even if it was in high school?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So I've worked with kids in like a different setting than a school, and so the trainings I've had associated to that job, would they be like too specific for someone to, like life space crisis intervention training? Would that be too, would that clutter it up because someone says, looks at it and says, I don't want to do that?
I would just see how long your resume is, and then if you have room, then I would put it down under like additional trainings or something like that. Or you could even say youth training or something.
Okay.
Put it on there.
If you were in an organization where you have like many different leadership positions, would you only put the ones that ranged in like the highest level of leadership, or would you list all of them and explain them?
How many are all?
Like 6 maybe?
Yeah, that's. What I would do is I would list the organization, think about an outline. So I would list the organization and then below the organization, tab in like another bullet point over and just list what like if you're president, the years and just a snippet of what you did. And then underneath that, the title, the year, and a snippet of what you did. Just feel like what you'd like to know.
Should you do a similar thing if all of your work experience is in the same department?
Yeah. Yeah. Have you had different titles in the same department?
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
had like 5.
Yes, that's exactly how I would do it. Yeah. What other questions you guys have?
If you like did summer camp, but you weren't employed by the summer camp, does that count as like community service?
What did you do at the summer camp?
Like counseling?
No, I would still put it under work experience.
Okay.
It's just non-paid work experience, and they don't have to know that, but I still put it under work experience. Oh, yeah, actually put that on there because that's teaching. Yeah. So did you do it, were you paid or not? How, did you do it for an extended length of time? Then I would put it under work experience.
How many job references should we put available upon request?
You always want to put available on request because references get their own separate page. And the reason is that when you're uploading documents for jobs, well, you'll find different counties require different things, but you generally will have to upload those separately. Yeah. If you apply in a school system and asking for those on your resume, obviously put them, but otherwise list them separately. And generally 3 is good. And try to get 3 that's diversified, like maybe a teacher that you've worked with, maybe someone who knows you in the community, a professor here at Marshall. So try to diversify those references a little bit. Okay. What other questions you guys have?
What if you feel like you don't have a lot of relevant things to put on?
If you feel like that you don't have a lot to put on there right now, then you can fill up your resume by adding a qualification section or a skills section, just to give an overview of who you are and what you know how to do.
Because I was thinking it doesn't look good if you leave off a big gap at the bottom of the page or something, but
Yeah.
I have just my full-time work experience, which is irrelevant to teaching, and then I have my student teaching.
I would still, if you feel like that's all you have, I'd still put down your full-time work experience.
It's managerial.
Yeah, so it's gonna still show skill sets. Yeah, yeah. What other questions? Okay, go ahead. No, you're fine.
I know on like a curriculum vitae, you have an objective at the top. Is that not a resume element?
I have a love-hate relationship with objectives because I think if you're writing an objective and you're applying for an English position in Cabell County Schools, okay? I have so many students will write seeking an English position at Cabell County Schools. That's just taking up space, okay? And I also think once you reach your junior year and your senior year, that objective needs to become like a professional statement, a professional summary. And I'm not opposed to that if you tell a little bit about who you are, what you want your goals to be, but it still doesn't need to be more than a statement. Like Marshall University senior studying whatever, seeking an entry-level position where you can do what. Okay? But yeah, I don't like objectives, especially now for juniors and seniors. What other questions? All right, good deal. There's a couple of other little small slides, but I'm just going to stop now because I know it's 2:30.
That's great.
And then I'll just send it to Amanda. and she'll
Perfect.
send it
All right.
out. Okay?
Can we all give
All right, good
Beth a
luck.
big hand? Thank you so much. I told y'all. Okay, and now next, Miss Debbie Smith. There you are. Is here from Cabell County Schools, and she's just going to talk to y'all briefly about just getting your stuff together and applying and all that.
I was enjoying listening to Beth. I mean, my goodness.
And,
That was amazing.
and I'm going to take a pause for just a minute.
Yeah.
If you all have not been on Facebook and you have not seen Cabell County Schools Celebrate video, who's seen it? Who's seen it? It's great. And she's literally like a star in this video. So you need to check it out. It's just a really great, fun video. I saw a picture of you. I think you were out there thanking bus drivers this morning at 5:30. I mean, this job is a thankless job. And so anyway, Debbie has got great stuff. So
Well, we're glad that you guys are here, and I know you all are so excited to
Shoot
get
me an
this
email if you don't
semester
care to attach that. I'm
started
sure I have it
and get
saved.
it over
And if you don't care to send me the
with.
list as soon as like you
I
always do.
remember being
Oh,
there
perfect.
several
Thank you.
years ago,
Thank you.
right?
They were
We actually
great.
got a
Yeah,
late start
great.
into this. I won't say how old I am, but I got a late start. So I've only been doing this about 25 years. My daughter, I have 2 daughters and 3 grandchildren, and my one daughter is a teacher for Cabell County, and I remember her saying to me, I kept pushing her. She went into phone sales, and then she was a pharmaceutical rep, and then she had the teaching degree and actually decided to try the teaching. And I said, you really need to give this a try. I said, it's great. You've got your benefits and your retirement. And she said, I just can't imagine doing the same thing for 25 or 30 years. And the neat thing about this job, it isn't the same thing. If you will allow the doors to open, they will. And I see, there's Anna back there and Bettina and Lynn Hurt. I've worked with these ladies for years, and they will tell you, you can start out, I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to be a kindergarten, first grade teacher, and I was able to do that. And I went to Marshall and received my master's and my EDS through Marshall University. And it's been an awesome, awesome career. But that kindergarten, first grade teaching experience led me to assistant principal, curriculum supervisor, elementary principal, and now I'm a Cabell County Schools personnel director. I'm bringing top quality teachers into our district. So allow those opportunities to present themselves to you. We are excited that you are going to be here with us with Cabell County Schools. When all of this first started, and Amanda, this is my 4th year in this position. And I think the first time I came, I had I had a notebook, and I had all this information in it, and you guys are like, this is my 4th year. I brought nothing. You'll be pleased. I know you guys are on information overload at this point during the day. So the main thing for you all to know is once this gets going and you get closer to your graduation date, I think I'll be coming back in to talk to you. I just wanted to basically introduce myself, welcome you all to Cabell County Schools, and I will be bringing information back to you that you can be getting together. The one thing that Beth was saying with your resume, she was spot on. I'm not really, and I was talking to Lynn back there, I'm not looking at that objective. I know you're wanting a job. We know what you're doing. But I'm looking at your experiences, the other jobs that you've had. Somebody mentioned Energy Express. That's a great thing to put on a resume. So we're looking at those types of things and the dates and the times that you've spent in them. Our application, when you're bidding on jobs with us, will ask you a lot of different questions pertaining to that. So how many of you all, I'm just curious, how many of you are staying in Cabell County? I hesitate to even ask because I know the number's always low. It's like, how many staying in Cabell County? Raise your hand up. Let me see. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's usually about 10, about every time. How many of you all are elementary? Okay. What about special education? Math? Man, hold your hand up way high. Math. You want to be proud of that.
It wasn't undergrad.
Okay.
So I didn't know if it counted or
Yeah.
not.
So with Cabell County, we are so fortunate to have the relationship that we do with Marshall University. And we always have a good amount of elementary education people that come to us. We have a lot of social studies. Where there is a large need would be with special education and math, sciences, speech pathologist, and right now our PE, art, and music, we're getting a little bit lower with that. But I would encourage you all, once you get this going, to take Praxis to get the additional endorsements. It's a sweet little deal that the West Virginia Department of Ed offers, that you're not taking coursework to get that additional certification. My daughter actually just took one with the Talented and Gifted praxis. But those are available online. You can look to see what West Virginia offers with that and take advantage of that, because that will just build your certification bank when you get ready to apply for positions. So again, welcome to Cabell County. I'm keeping this kind of short
That's great.
and
Yeah,
sweet.
thank
Do
you.
y'all have any questions for me with the schools? Do y'all have your school placements?
They do,
You
yeah.
do? How many of you all are in Cabell County, will be in Cabell County schools? Okay. With that, you all have probably done most of your clinicals in our schools as well, like your reading block and then observation hours. And you've probably been already in a couple of different schools, yes? So know that every school, and Anna, I know she can vouch for me back here, she'll be talking to you guys next about some things. But Anna, is it not true? Every school has their own culture. When you walk in, you're going to feel it.
Mhm.
And it's a great thing. I mean, you're getting all these experiences to see, you know, the different types of leadership styles. Teachers are expected, we do expect our teachers to behave and dress in a professional manner. And you all, while you're out there, you may see some teachers, and you probably already have, that you're thinking, are they a teacher or are they a student? The way they're dressed. That the principal will take care of those things. So you all, I know Marshall's very strict with that.
Mhm.
When I was principal at Culloden Elementary, we would have our dress down day on Fridays, and the teachers could wear their Culloden t-shirts and their jeans, and I would even participate at times with them with that. But the Marshall students, when they came in, they would say, we can't do that. We have to, Marshall expects us. And I
I've
think
loosened
that's-
up a little bit
loosened up
on
a little
that,
bit.
yeah.
No, I think that's great.
Yeah.
So you guys are getting, you have had, Marshall educators are the most sought after teachers in the state. And I would say even across the United States. I mean, you all, Marshall has such a great name with the teacher education. And you all know are receiving a great education with this. So, again, welcome. If you all have any questions, my phone number, let me give it to you real fast. If anything were to come up and you have any questions that you just want to ask me personally, just a phone call away, email away, but my phone number is 304-528-5085. And my email is dbrsmith@k12.wv.us. And I know we've received a lot of your all's applications already as far as for student teaching. But you, when you get ready, when you're all getting ready to graduate here in December, those of you that are staying, I would encourage you to apply sometime at the 1st of December online to substitute so we can get your application packet ready. You're going to need that resume. You're going to need 3 letters of reference. It's what we require. Then the application packet itself is more with payroll and things like that. And then we'll have you come in for an interview. Okay? Any questions or anything? All right.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Let's give her a hand. And next up, last but not least, and this is great because we were talking about those professional organizations to put on your resume, and this is an awesome one. This is Miss Anna Holtz, and she is from Cabell County Reading Council, and she just wants to talk to you guys for a moment.
Just super quick, thank you so much. I appreciate this opportunity. I know your brain is probably hurting and you're ready to go, and I get it, and so I'll make it super quick. As she mentioned, I'm with Cabell County Reading Council. Some of you may have heard of us, some of you may not have. Basically, we are a professional organization that our main mission, our main goal is to get books into the hands of children. That's what we do. We feel very powerful. We feel it's really important to promote reading to all students. So I have a pamphlet I can give to you. You do not have to join. It's not mandatory. It's just an option if you want. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we do. You can look at the brochure. If you'd like to join, please contact us. We're more than happy to get you a part of this. Your membership is $5. It's cheap. We belong also, though, to a state organization called the West Virginia Reading Association, which also then belongs to the International Literacy Association. So we all work together. We also partner with Read Aloud West Virginia. If you've ever heard of that program, they send readers every week into classrooms all across Cabell County to read aloud to children. So we are part of all of that. We have our hand in all of those different things. Membership gives you access to all kinds of research and education data, best practices, and also a lot of our events. We do a lot of fun events every year. I'll just share a couple of things that we have coming up. We do every year in Cabell County, and as you all are going out in student teaching, you will probably see some of these things in your classrooms, but we do the creative writing contest. We are responsible for the Young Illustrators contest. We do a Kids Fest over at Ritter Park that's coming up September 22nd. Very family-friendly event, super fun. If you have children, you can come, it's free. All kinds of different resources will be there, handing out free stuff, games and stuff for the children. We also offer a lot of professional development opportunities, which may be not as much applicable to you now, but as you grow in your education, as you start working towards building that resume and those kinds of things, we do professional book studies. We do a fun one called Cooking with Books, which we do up at the bookstore, so that's a fun one. We sponsor a lot of family fun events like Flashlight Reading Night, Read with a Hero, where we have police officers, firefighters come in and read with children. We do a literature fair, which is very similar to a social studies fair, but with books. Remember the old school science and social studies fair where you set up the trifold board and you have all the components? We do that, only we do it with books. And we do it school-wide, and then we have a county-wide competition for all the children to participate in also. We do restaurant read aloud. We go out to different restaurants locally and just read aloud to kids there, because again, we just promote reading. That's what we do. And I know you're saying, hey, but I'm a high school math teacher, but I don't do that. I don't need, reading is everywhere. Reading is in everything. Reading touches every single subject. So no matter what your core is, no matter what your focus is, I promise reading is in there. This year alone, we distributed over 3,000 books to the children of Cabell County through Little Free Libraries, through book handouts, through backpack programs, backpack food programs.
Are you all hooked with the little, I want to say it's a cubby type?
The Little Free Libraries?
Yeah.
We don't run them, but we work with them. Okay. We did a huge book distribution to them this year. They got, I think we gave them close to like 2,000 books that we put out all over Cabell County in the Little Free Libraries. So yes, we sponsor those. We don't maintain them, but we do sponsor them. We did build one this year. We partnered with our Career Center and had one built to replace one that got damaged over the 4th of July, so we replaced one. So anyway, that's basically it. You can go on Facebook. We have a Facebook page. If you do Facebook, it's just Cabell County Reading Council. My name is on the backpack here. I'm more than happy to give you, if you have questions, I know you're probably ready to break, but if you have questions, I'll wait in the back for a few minutes. You can ask me. I'm more than happy to give you my personal number. The one that's on here is my work number, but you can call it, but it takes forever. But if you want to get right to me, I can give you my personal number if you're interested. I'll just hand you out these if you have any questions. Are there any other general questions, anything? Like I said, you do not have to join. We invite you to come and still participate in all of our events. One thing I will throw out, we do offer, if anybody is thinking of considering pursuing a master's degree in reading, we offer a scholarship for that every year. So you definitely want to get with us if you are thinking of going that direction anytime this next semester or even in the fall. If you're thinking about going into a master's in reading, you definitely want to get with us because we give a scholarship for that. So it's $500 towards your tuition. So
That's great.
$500.
Right.
Right.
No kidding.
So if you have any questions, I'll be in the back. You're welcome. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it. I'll pass these to your table. If you want one, you can take one. We're low pressure. We're a low pressure organization. But it does look good, like they were talking about building your resumes and such. It does look good to have a professional organization. We are considered a professional organization. Like I said, I used to teach kindergarten, but now I'm in the high school. So we run the whole gamut of teachers that we have. We have members from all the grades, from pre-K all the way up through high school. So everybody is always welcome.
That's awesome. Can we give Anna a big hand? Thank you.